Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach and the host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. As an addiction recovery coach, I want to share this with you, and let me be crystal clear to leave an everlasting impact upon you. Just imagine being buried alive. You're in the coffin, but you know you're not dead. You think, maybe if I bang on the lid, someone might hear me and start digging their way down towards me. But then you try and you don't get any answers. But then you say to yourself, what if I try to lift it and unsettle the dirt? Maybe, just maybe, somebody will notice that, dig their way down, and help me out of here. This is what it's like to be at the lowest point of alcohol and drug addiction. You know you need help. You know you can't do it on your own, but you don't know which way to turn. In reality, my friend, there probably is somebody standing right there, but you're in the coffin, 6 feet under, no dirt can be unsettled and moved, nobody will hear you banging. Usually, though, people don't think about death when they're habitually using and abusing drugs and alcohol. In order to defeat an addiction, you have to be great at repressing the fear of death. I often ask you, my audience, did it ever cross your mind that maybe, just maybe, you might overdose? And what God gave you so preciously, life, you are now taken away, not just from yourself, but from your loved ones, your family, your friends, your children, your grandchildren. What a selfish act. With this, I want to leave you with one last thought. Don't be the person on this index card, laying in a coffin, banging, lifting, can't get anybody to help. Be a person that reaches out and says, Ralph, I need help. I have addiction issues. I have drug issues. I need help. Let me just turn this down. All you need to do is give me a call at 844-405-HELP, and I will help take your life back. My friend, before your life is gone, and when it's gone, it'll be like this person. Only difference is this is not reality. You cannot be in a coffin alive. Once you're in a coffin, that is it. It's permanent. Then it's time to meet your maker. But while you're on earth, while you still can feel a pulse, while you could still breathe, reach out to people like myself, 844-405-HELP. I will help take your life back. And there's other people like Larry Geist from the Geist Academy at 516-458-2741, 516-458-2741. Let me just repeat my phone number. I think I said it. It's 844-405-HELP. That's 844-405-HELP. Larry's number is 516-458-2741. Larry can also be found at www.odysseyconsultant.org. Folks, isn't it time for you to reach out and get the help that you so desperately need? Larry can help you from your depression to better times, from your low self-esteem to raise your self-esteem, from your addiction to your recovery to your sobriety. It all can happen with a man with over 30 years experience. Larry Geist from the Geist Academy, 516-458-2741. He will help you, and he will help you today, but you need to reach out. Again, you can reach to either one of us. My phone number is 844-405-HELP. Larry's is 516-458-2741. Larry Geist from the Geist Academy. Folks, I just went and got a haircut, and I was talking to the lady who's the barber, and she was talking about how she's been trying to get her ex-boyfriend to call me. He's got major issues with addiction. He has a situation where he's ashamed to even bring it up, and my explanation only is, not just to her but to you, my audience, is that it is shameful when you don't talk about it, because the only way to seek help, to get help, is to speak up. Folks, this particular person's boyfriend, ex-boyfriend now, who she still cares about a lot, is not seeking the help that he needs. And I urge anyone that's listening to just reach out and get help. Listen, I've been there. I know what it's like. A lot of people have been there. But you need to seek out and get help. And her medical condition herself, she's got some issues going on where at night the lights bother her when she's watching TV, and she gets dizzy, and she's pre-diabetic, and I said to her, do you drink red wine by any chance before bedtime? She said, yeah. This is before I even knew she was pre-diabetic. And I said, check your sugar. And then she goes, I'm pre-diabetic. Red wine, Manhattans, they all have so much sugar. Please, folks, When I say red wine, I'm talking about like a sangria, a sweet one. So much sugar. Folks, I always say there's nothing wrong with drinking responsibly. There's nothing wrong with hard drinking. But if you have medical conditions, you don't take your prescription with alcohol. If you have medical conditions, you don't do anything that's going to harm that. I also told her, because it's her eyes that hurt more than anything, to have the blood pressure checked behind the eyeballs. Folks, please listen to this next topic, which is what type of drinker are you? This is why I'm talking about this, because there is such thing as an alcoholic like me who cannot just drink one, therefore I don't drink at all, or a sociable drinker. Which one are you? What type of drinker are you? Whether you drink a beer or two at a ball game, have a few at a party or a club, or save your drinking for weekends, most people who drink regularly drink more than they think. What type of drinker are you? Here's the definition of a social drinker. The good news is you only drink when you're hanging out with friends. But if you hang out with friends a lot, well, do the math. A lot of friends, a lot of hangouts, a lot of alcohol. Drinking a couple of nights a week adds up quickly. If you are of legal drinking age, 1 drink a day for a woman and 2 for a man is within the healthy zone. Stress drinker. Everyone gets stressed out sometimes. But some college students reach for a drink whenever they're stressed out about anything, and that isn't a good idea. If you rely on alcohol to deal with stress, you could be setting yourself up for alcohol dependence. Using alcohol as a means to forget daily hassles or deal with one's problems is one of the strongest predictors of developing long-term alcohol problems. And this particular barber here, she also drinks because she can't get enough, she doesn't get sleep at night. Yes, alcohol will help you because what you're doing is you're kind of passing out, but it's not good, comfortable sleep. A binge drinker is, according to National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, binge drinking is drinking more than 4 drinks for a woman and 5 drinks for a man on any one occasion, usually within 2 hours. It's not that much different from high-risk drinking, except for that binge drinking, drink more often. Binge drinking can lead to many health problems, including but not limited to alcohol abuse, dependence, car crashes, falls, drownings, burns, violence, chronic disease such as cirrhosis, pancreatitis, various cancers, high blood pressure, and psychological problems. Binge drinking is the most common type of excessive drinking in colleges, but less than 1 in 4 students engage in consistent, excessive alcohol drinking such as this. Then you have the self-medication drinker, which is like the barber here. She feels that she gets better sleep. Many times a person has grown up in a dysfunctional family where physical or sexual abuse has happened, where there is neglect and deprivation, where the parents are over-involved but under-nurturing, where significant traumas have happened, where destructive forces have destroyed families, or where parents are poor role models. Sometimes these individuals get through adolescence pretty much intact, but are weak with social skills. They might run into devastating breakups, divorce, horrific accidents, traumatic military experience, depressive losses of family and friends, and personal failures. They develop emotional disorders like depression, rage, obsession, anxiety, borderline personalities, and self-harming compulsions and suicidal thinking and delayed emotional problems. They often find the alcohol, prescription drugs, recreational drugs give them some relief, numbing feelings, help them disassociate negative feelings, feel inner emptiness, and make them temporarily happy. In other words, medicate their emotional pain away. Unfortunately, these solutions have temporary, and their cure usually leads to alcohol or drug dependence, or addiction, and all the ill health that affects associated with its use. Then you have high-risk drinkers. Do you drink even though it gets you into trouble at school, at home, and with your friends? Do you frequently have more than 4 or 5 drinks a night? High-risk drinkers, in spite of negative consequences, doing something you regret or forget, messing up at school, getting into trouble with cops, or hurting a friend, and they drink a lot. If you are starting to think that the consequences are beginning to outweigh the benefits, it might be time to consider changes. Then you have the Drunkorexic. Did you drink your dinner again last night? You could be a drunkorexic. A growing group of mostly college-aged women who starve all day to make up for the calories they consume in alcohol at night. Never mind that drinking on an empty stomach is a sure invitation to trouble. Drunkorexia is a serious eating disorder, just like bulimia and anorexia. They all can cause serious health problems if you continue starving yourself, possibly to death. Few women engage in the practice, but it is important to know that it can be very dangerous. And the last but not least, your drinking personality. Recently, the Department of Health in England concluded that heavy drinkers tend to fall into 9 basic personality categories. A college candy writer interpreted the findings in this college-friendly way as this. Drinking personality goes along with the type of drinker. The drinking personalities are as follows. A sociable drinker. That's someone that likes hanging around with friends and only drinks when he hangs around with friends, but hangs around often, hence oftenly drinking alcohol. The stress drinker. Everyone gets stressed out sometimes, but some college students reach for a drink whenever they're stressed out about anything, including homework. The stress drinker drinks when they're stressed, which can be quite often. The binge drinker. According to National Institute of Alcohol Health and Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, binge drinking is drinking more than 4 drinks for a woman and 5 drinks for a man within 2 hours. Then you have self-medication drinker. Many times a person has grown up in dysfunctional families where physical or sexual abuse has happened, where there is neglect, deprivation, where the parents are over-involved but under-caring, where significant traumas have occurred, where destructive divorces have destroyed families, or where the parents are poor role models. This is where a person starts drinking to run from all that. Unfortunately, these solutions are temporary and their cure usually leads to alcohol and drug dependence. Then you have the high-risk drinker. Do you drink even if it gets you into trouble at school, at home, or with your friends? Do you frequently have more than 4 to 5 drinks a night? High-risk drinkers, in spite of the negative consequences they are aware of, doing something you regret or forget, messing up at school, getting into trouble with the cops or hurting a friend, and they drink a lot and continuously do that. If you're starting to think that the consequences are beginning to outweigh your benefits, it might be time to consider some changes, including seeing someone. Then you have the drunkorexic. Did you drink your dinner away last night? A lot of men, mostly women, drink away their daily consumption of calories at night. They starve themselves all day to be able to drink at night. Folks, doesn't work. What you're doing is you're taking away all the important vitamins and food that you need to survive. Any one of these that I just read about can define you, and I'm sure one of them does. What type of drinker are you? Me? I was a binge drinker. I was a stress drinker. I was never a social drinker. I was a high-risk drinker. So I can take claim to 4 or 5 of these. What about you? Folks, please be the role model that you have to be as a parent, a grandparent, a guardian. Protect your children and your grandchildren by you doing the responsible thing in life. What you teach your children, they will go out and do. I always used to say this, between the ages of birth and 18 years of age, you write the chapters in their book of life. The first 18 chapters of their book of life are written directly by you. You want to include in these chapters love, respect, compassion, and passion, and eliminate hate, drinking, smoking, drugging, profanity, abuse. Write the right words in their book of life. Even if your life and your parents didn't write your first 18 chapters the way you'd like it to be, Break the chain. Break that change and let your children have a better life than you. I hope to God, no matter where you're watching me, folks, that you have the best day of your life, but you have a sober rest of your life, and you drink responsibly, and don't drink in front of children or grandchildren. May God bless each and every one of you. Take care.